Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. My name is Phoebe Winters, joined by my partner Quentin Corpuel. We're here at Frank Mann Field to watch your Bethesda Big Train take on the Alexandria Aces for the third time this summer. Now the Aces have gone 2-0 in the series so far. Big Train coming off a walk-off win last night. Quentin, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm toasty. It's another warm day. It was a previously beautiful day just a couple hours ago. Driving over the Key Bridge, we were able to see a lot of boats on the Potomac River enjoying a nice boat day. But now a little more ominous, some more clouds in the sky, but hopefully some potential rain, hopefully being held off as we're set for another rematch of last year's LCS between the Aces and the Big Train. Two close games. The Big Train looking to get back in the series after the Aces have taken the first two.
Last time we saw these two teams face each other, Aces took the victory 13-10. Big Train looking to strike back here at Frank Mann Field. Quentin, how do you think last night's walk-off victory in the 10th inning is going to help propel them to some success today?
Those kinds of wins rally teams, and yes, it might not be a sustainable way of winning, falling behind as much as they did last night with the T-Bolts putting up a 7 spot early in the game, only for the Big Train to slowly claw back throughout the rest of the game and eventually winning it in the 10th. Although that might not be sustainable, it instills belief in the team that they can come back, that they can be resilient. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen again tonight, but all I know is if they fall behind early, they're going to know that they can do it because they have done it.
Well, I'm excited to see how this team rallies today after their beautiful walk-off win last night. We're going to get into it during first pitch at 6:30 p.m. today. We'll catch you back here on the Big Train Baseball Network when we come back from commercial.
watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up. 'Cause nothing feels as good as summer love.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. We're set to kick off the top of the first inning. The first at-bat is going to be number 2. Jaden Bastian had a couple of excellent catches from the left field last night to help the Big Train to a 10-9 victory.
Leading off,
On the mound for the Aces is going to be number 33, Kyle Miller.
Bastian.
Miller, one of a few Longwood Lancers in the Ripken League.
As the first offering to Bastian is in there for strike 1.
Through 11 1/3 last season, allowed 9 earned.
The 0-1 is down low in the dirt for ball 1. Escaping catcher DiPaolo there a little bit.
Now Bastian last night, an excellent second half of the game, struck out in his first couple of at-bats.
The 1-1 line down to the shortstop. He'll make the throw over to first, and it is in time for out number 1. Next up is going to be the Cal Ripken League Hitter of the Week, number 29, Andrew Williamson.
Now Williamson last night, another productive evening at the plate. He tied Davin Whitaker for the team lead in hits in 23 fewer at-bats.
Last night he kicked things off with a triple. First offering to Williamson is outside for ball 1.
Williamson started this summer 18 of 40. Pretty ridiculous.
The 1-0 fouled off for strike 1.
And so another duel of electric outfielders today. Williamson for the Big Train and Tim Nicholson in right field for the Aces.
As the 1-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. Here comes the 1-2. That one's outside for ball 2.
And waiting on deck is the shortstop, Keenan Bowman.
As the 2-2 is outside, moving the count full on Williamson. Williamson, one of the most dangerous bats for the Big Train, hoping to set some motion early on. We've seen the Big Train fall on the score early in the game and have to make rallying comebacks as the full count is up high for ball number 4. Walken Williamson out to first, sending up your shortstop, number 9, Keenan Bowman.
Now Miller delivering some high heat on the 3-2 pitch. An awfully tempting one that's gotten a lot of Big Train batters this season, but a great job of Williamson to lay that one off. And now one of the best base runners for the Big Train aboard early for Keenan Bowman.
First offering to Bowman swung on and missed for strike 1. 0-1. That one's fouling off for strike 2. On deck is going to be a newcomer to the big train, number 13, Luke Vaughn, rising sophomore out of Alabama, also going to be the catcher for tonight. The 0-2 is outside for ball 1.
Now finishing 2 strike counts has been an issue for not just a few big train pitchers, but a lot of pitchers in this league that we've seen so far. Let's see if Miller can reverse the trend.
The 1-2 outside for ball 2.
Fantastic holdup by Bowman. That one looked like it might dip into the zone. That one just upstairs. Now Bowman evening the count at 2-2.
The 2-2 upstairs for ball 3, so the count moves full on Bowman.
Both Williamson and Bowman laying off the early high heat from Miller. Let's see if he tries to go with something low. Haven't seen a ton of that over these first few batters.
The full count is grounded over to second baseman, thrown over to first, and that'll make the double play. Outs 2 and 3 to end the top of the first inning. So the big train gets a couple of hits off, unable to produce, leave one stranded. We'll catch you back here on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the bottom of the first inning. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. We're here in the bottom of the first inning. Big Train held scoreless during the top of the first. On the mound, going to be SoCal native Jake Villar. The last time we saw him on the mound was at Regency Furniture Stadium when your Big Train shut out the Southern Maryland Senators as the first offering to leadoff hitter number 13 Tim Nicholson outside for ball one.
Now Nicholson, third in the Ripken League in batting average, has been one of the Aces' best players over the past couple of seasons.
As the 1-0 was fouled off over the Aces dugout for strike one.
And as you said, Villar was dominant down in Waldorf, looking to carry that over here into Alexandria.
As the 1-1 fouled off again for strike two.
I say Alexandria because we are basically in between the two cities. You get the entrance sign about a couple blocks away here from Frank Mann Field.
The 1-2 popped up high and out of play. So Nicholson will stay alive to face another 1-2 count.
And it was great to hear Villar, as he was talking to us in the booth, explain how much more confident he felt on the mound in his last outing.
As the 1-2 down low for ball two.
But the catcher for tonight, Vaughn, giving Villar a little encouragement. That looked like exactly where he wanted it.
As the 2-2 is nailed over to the third baseman, just misses his glove. And that'll put Nicholson safely onto first base. Your third baseman for tonight going to be Landon Franklin. He kneeled down to grab it, but just escaped his glove there.
That was a tough play. That one was in front of him in a way where he couldn't regularly field it, but a dive wouldn't have been necessary. Well, that one's skipping over his glove and putting the first one on for the Aces as Peltier steps up to the plate.
Peltier, the shortstop for the Aces, made an excellent double play during the top of the first as he'll ground that one over to third baseman. That one again popping in a weird way. Franklin unable to get a good hand on it, so that'll put runners on first and second for the Aces.
That one simply died in the dirt.
Franklin had his hands ready for a pop-up, but as he said, Quentin died in the dirt.
That one basically stuck to the ground. It's as if there was a string of magnets right by Franklin just holding the ball down.
Now up to the plate, going to be number 36, Jansen Jenkins. First offering to Jenkins, swung on and missed for strike one.
Last time these two teams played at Shirley Povich, Jeremiah Jenkins sent one over the center field fence for his first home run of the summer.
The 0-1 swung on and missed for strike two.
It's so interesting how Jenkins holds his bat. It's almost like he's at show and tell. Just holding his bat out in front of him like, oh, here's this big stick of lumber, I guess.
Can see some movement at second base. The 0-2 down low for ball one.
I'm loving the positive affirmations from Vaughn behind the plate.
Again, this is his first appearance with the big train this summer.
Even though these pitches are out of the zone, it looks like that's where Vaughn intended for the pitch to go.
The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike three, and that'll be out number one for the Aces.
That pitch, a great example. That one was out of the zone. Jenkins just not biting the first time, swinging there on the second time on, again, an off speed that was almost in the dirt.
It's number 35, Quinn Irons. Going to step up to the plate again, has runners on first and second. Now one out on the board. Villar hoping to finish them off here and hold them scoreless. First offering to Quinn Irons is in there for strike one. The 0-1 down low for ball one.
Vaughn's going to get a clean baseball from the umpire. Now Quinn Irons was arguably George Mason's best player last season. Led the team in home runs with 13 and was second in RBIs with 43.
As the 1-1 nailed out towards center field, ranging under it, Williamson, it goes over his head, bouncing over by the fences, so that'll bring in run number 1 for the Aces. Here comes run number 2, and he slides into home. So that's 2 runs for the Alexandria Aces. Quinn Irons over on second. They've only got 1 out on the board, still a lot of work for the big train.
Now the Aces have been beelining on the base paths all season long. They lead the league in stolen bases entering today, but on hits like those, guys like Nicholson and Peltier can absolutely take extra bases.
As we now have the designated hitter, Riley DeCandido, up at the plate for the Aces. First offering to DeCandido. Did he go? Ruled that he did not go around, so that'll be ball 1. The 1-0 in the dirt for ball 2.
Now, DeCandido didn't play much for Maryland last season, going just 1 for 6, but he's got the second most at-bats on the Aces this season and has played very well, batting .327. Tim Nicholson, the only one ahead of him in the batting average department.
The 2-0. That one's nailed out towards the left field. Under it, Bastion for the catch and out number 2. So Quinn Irons will hold up at second base, and that'll bring up number 23, Kyle Maluski, to the plate.
Number 23, Kevin Maluski.
Now, Kevin Maluski has not played as well as the batters before him, hitting just .229 and 48 at-bats, but does have a homer and 9 RBIs.
First offering to Maluski, up high for ball 1. The 1-0 in there for strike 1.
Now, Maluski struggled a bit last season for Seton Hall, hit just 4 of 31 with 18 strikeouts. Trying to use this summer as a potential launch pad into next season. Hopefully for him, he can better himself in the second half, just
As
like
he
that.
Nails the 1-1 over to left field. It bounces for a base hit. Quinn Irons gets holed up at third base, so you've got runners on the corners for the Aces, sending up number 11, Ben Harity.
That was a great holdup from Quinn Irons. A frozen rope from Bastion in left field probably would have gotten him had he chosen to round third and score potentially the Aces' 3rd run of the inning. But now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Again, the big train getting bit by good 2-out hitting from the opposition.
Pickoff attempt at first, unsuccessful.
Now it's interesting to see the different mentalities with runners on first and 2 outs throughout the different teams in this league. As I said before, the Aces have been the pioneers for quality base stealing thus far this summer.
It's the first offering to Harity. Did he go around? Ruled that he did, so it'll be strike 1 on Harity.
The only team that has a good argument to be better is the Giants, who recently got caught stealing for the first time all summer just a couple of games ago.
Another pickoff attempt at first, again, unsuccessful. The 0-1 to Harity is outside for ball 1.
Although back to the base stealing point, I'm not sure it's going to be Maluski trying to swipe a bag. He has just 1 all season.
The 1-1 is in the dirt.
Nope, that
Looks
one,
like it
that
might
one hit
have
him.
knocked him in the shin there. So that'll walk Harity out to first base. bumping Maluski over to second. Bases are loaded for the Aces. They've got 2 outs on the board, sending up number 4, Sam Robertson, to the plate.
Now Robertson hitting just .216 on the season. A quartet of RBIs, but has walked 9 times. I'm sure the Aces wouldn't mind a 10th. Here with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
First offering, Robertson grounded over to third baseman Franklin. He'll make the tag at third for out number 3. So the Aces scratch across 2 to take an early lead. Big Train looking to attack from the plate when we return for the top of the second inning. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Big Train Baseball Network.
Said, hey, baby, I love the way you groove. Hey, baby, I love the way you move. Said, hey, baby, I love the way you boogie down. Hey, baby, I love the way you move. Boogie down.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. We're headed to the top of the second inning. Left leadoff hitter is going to be Luke Vaughn. He takes that first offering in the dirt for ball number 1.
And it's funny, I was saying last night how the Big Train have been thin at catcher for a little bit ever since Nick DeLisi went down a while ago, but
The 1-0 nailed out towards left center field. It drops for a base hit. Nichols Vaughn going to hold up over at first. Excellent piece of hitting from the newest addition to the Big Train squad.
1 at bat, 1 hit for Vaughn. The reinforcement at catcher making his presence known early. A sweet piece of hitting, got all of that ball into left field. Now a runner on first with no outs for Emilio Gonzalez.
Number 45 had a lot of walks the previous night and a couple of base hits to help propel the Big Train towards some success, as he'll take the first offering outside for ball number 1.
Now I don't have the scorebook in front of me. Did Emilio Gonzalez reach base in every single at bat last night?
Yes.
I believe he did. Wow.
Was not once struck out at the plate last night, as the 1-0 check swing went around for strike 1. So Gonzalez facing a 1-1 count. Got Luke Vaughn over on first base. Big Train hoping to bite back into the 2-run deficit they found themselves in, as there's a unsuccessful pickoff attempt at first. The 1-1 swung on and missed for strike 2.
So those are the kinds of pitches that Gonzalez has bitten on outside of the zone. Just low and inside. That one simply low. Let's see if Miller goes back to that here with the count 1-2.
The 1-2 That one fouled off over the third base bleachers.
That one on the lower half of the plate. Good job by Gonzalez of fouling that one off. We've seen a lot of those foul balls end up on the left half of the field. Just like most of the baseballs Gonzalez has hit that he's put in fair territory.
As the 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. So that'll be out number 1 for the big train. Sending up the third baseman for tonight, number 22, Landon Franklin. Earlier this summer, we've seen him play in the shortstop position. He's been bumped over to third base due to the addition of number 9, Keenan Bowman.
Now, it looked like he was going to get the full night off last night, but of course the game got crazy late, just as most of them have been for the big train this season.
So there's a pickoff attempt at first, but Vaughn still safe over on the base pads. First offering to Franklin upstairs for ball 1.
He was telling me before yesterday he was pretty tired after playing several games in a row.
He's been working hard all summer long. A much needed, almost night off, as the 1-0 is chopped over to the second baseman. They'll make the double play, but Franklin safe over at first. So that'll get rid of Vaughn from the base pads. But your big train still has a runner on first, this time in Landon Franklin, as they send up number 1, Jordan Crosland, who had quite the night last night. Quentin, tell us a little bit.
Yeah,
about
Crosland cranked a homer into center field for his second of the summer. Also had a couple of other hits. Was one of many big train batters that made it to base multiple times. Great block there from DePaulo on the pitch in the dirt. But on that last defensive play, Robertson and Peltier, a smooth force out at second, but great hustle by Franklin to prevent the double play, which would have ended the inning.
As the 1-0 is in there for strike 1.
But it was great to see Crosland have as good of a night as he did last night. Hadn't had an offensive explosion like that at all this summer up until then.
As the 1-1 is up high, catcher makes the throw over to first, but not in time. Franklin still safe on the base pads as the count moves to 2-1 on Crosland.
That was a heck of a catch and throw by DePaulo.
We've often talked about how speedy Perriello is on popping up to make the throws over to second or first. Paolo giving him a run for his money as the 2-1 is fouled off over the Aces dugout for strike 2.
And waiting on deck, hopefully getting an at-bat this inning, is Josh Skoronsky, who will step into right field once again for the big train tonight.
Here comes the 2-2. That one popped up high, and it is out of play. So Crosland will stay alive to face another 2-2 count at the plate. We saw Big Train leave a runner stranded during the last half inning, hoping to get Franklin to home off of first. Swing and a miss from Crosland for strike 3 and out number 3. So the Big Train leaves one stranded over at first, still trailing by 2. We'll catch you back here on the Big Train Baseball Network when we return for the bottom of the second inning. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. We're headed into the bottom of the second inning. Alexandria Aces leading 2-0. Jake Villar still on the mound for the Big Train. Leadoff hitter is going to be number 1, AJ DePaulo, the catcher for the Aces, as he'll take that first offering low for ball 1.
He will be playing his college ball at Vanderbilt, hailing from Carrollton, Texas.
1-0 nailed out towards center field, and Williamson is under it with the glove catch for out number 1. Williamson has been quite the vacuum out at center field for the Big Train since he arrived this summer.
I'd say he's definitely one of those shark vacuums, one of the more modern ones, not like the old school one that you had in like 2011. I'd say the one where you can collapse it, it can go under tight surfaces.
As the top of the order, Tim Nicholson showed bunt but retracted for ball 1. The 1-0 is chopped over to third baseman Franklin. He'll make the throw over to first in time for out number 2.
It's been good to see Franklin make a couple of these routine plays after having a couple of those tough ones earlier not go his way. Now in basketball, I like to relate it to just making a layup early on. Just to see the ball go in gives you confidence, even though it's a routine move. Gives you confidence for when those tougher plays happen, you're more likely to make them.
As Peltier grounds that one over to second, Crosland makes the throw over to first, but it's not in time. So number 28, Peltier, gonna be on first base.
Now that was a sweet sliding play by Crosland to get a backhand on it. Unfortunately, just couldn't make the throw over to first. He spiked that one into the ground, at least a horse length away from first.
So with Peltier on first, number 36, Jenkins is at the plate. We've seen them come back with some great two-out hitting as Jenkins takes the first offering for a strike. The 0-1 down low for ball 1. The 1-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. Jenkins stepping out of the box for a moment to regain his composure.
And that's a great pitch to a guy like Jenkins, who's just so tall. It's naturally tough for him to get the bat down that far.
The 1-2 is outside for ball 2. Vaughn, very tall player, so he's been really great at blocking the ball, can make those stretches. As the 3-2 is nailed out towards center field, it'll drop for a base hit. You've got Peltier rounding third. He's going to charge towards home, and he'll make it without a throw towards home. So the Alexandria Aces now leading 3-0. They've got a runner on second, as we'll have number 35, Quinn Irons, step up to the plate. Got a double during his last at-bat.
Air Jenkins taking flight early here from Frank Mann Field. That was a spectacular piece of hitting. Now, I said a couple of pitches before that. The off speed's low in the zone, just so tough for a guy like Jenkins, who's super tall, just for him to be able to get the bat down there. The only problem is that when you throw a pitch over the heart of the plate, as it looks like Villar did there, Jenkins' swing is just so casual. It's so easy for him to put a ball to the wall.
So the first offering to Quinn Irons is fouled off for strike 1.
Now, I'm not comparing him to Aaron Judge, because you cannot compare anybody to Aaron Judge. But oftentimes pitchers will throw off-speed pitches low and oftentimes away. That'll still end up in the strike zone, but it's just so hard for him to get his bat down there. But when they throw it over the heart of the plate, it's almost game over every time.
So the 0-1 is outside for ball 1. So we talked during the previous half inning about the Aces' excellent two-out hitting, and they're showing it off here again. If scratch one across, have a runner on second as the 1-1 is in there for strike 2. So Villar now 1 strike away from holding the Aces at their 3-0 lead and stranding a runner on second. Here comes the 1-2. And that one is outside for ball 2. Here comes the 2-2. That one's upstairs for ball 3, so the count moves full.
And waiting on deck is the designated hitter, D. Candido. Villar would really like to retire Quinn Irons here and keep this game at 3-0 and not have to face the hot bat of D. Candido.
The full count is popped up high, grounded orchard center field. It'll drop for a base hit, and we see Jenkins charge on home. So that'll record run number 4 for the Aces. They've got a runner on first now for their designated hitter, Riley D. Candido, to step up to the plate.
Looking at the spray charts for a lot of these Aces batters, as we're going to have a quick mound visit between Vaughn and Villar, a lot of them love working up the middle. Not a whole lot of pulls, not a whole lot of opposite field hitting, just straight up the middle. And it's tough even for a guy like Crossland who can cover so much ground so quickly. It's going to be really tough for him to get over there.
And we've seen the Aces get the best of the Big Train twice now, leading the series 2-0. Big Train's been hoping to strike back. Falling behind early on is a situation they've been familiar with this summer. We've seen them come up with some late inning magic, hoping, as last night, to not have to rely on that late inning spurs. As the first offering to D. Candido is in the dirt for ball 1.
Great block by Vaughn, and as you mentioned a couple of batters ago, he's big and tall, can cover a lot of space, which is good for pitches like that where you really need to keep the ball in front of you.
As the 1-0 is in there for strike 1. So the count moves to 1-1 on D. Candido. Again, great pieces of 2-out hitting from the Aces as the 1-1 is grounded over to third baseman Franklin. It'll pop just past him. Scooped up by Bastion over in left field, but that'll move a runner to second. Puts D. Candido on first for Kevin Maluski to step up to the plate.
These Aces hitters have been hitting it everywhere. Even the Big Train infielders haven't been.
We'll see a quick mound visit over to Villar from manager Sal Colangelo and the infield. Now the Big Train bullpen is a little out of our view here at Frank Mann Field.
I'm sure you can smell it.
We'll take a quick commercial break here during this mound visit. Stay tuned when we return with the bottom of the second inning.
Has arrived.
Come and pick me up, 'cause nothing feels as good as summer love.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Again, we're in the bottom of the second inning. The Alexandria Aces have put 2 on the scoreboard to extend their lead to 4-0. They still have runners on first and second. Up at the plate, Kevin Maluski had a base hit during his previous at-bat. Jake Villar still on the mound for the Big Train. First offering to Maluski is in there for strike 1.
That's a huge pitch for Villar's confidence. I'm glad for him that he was able to get ahead in the count.
As the 0-1 is down low for ball 1.
I'd also say that's a pretty good pitch. That off speed that tails into the dirt has gotten a handful of Aces batters thus far swinging and missing. I don't think Vaughn minded that pitch at all.
The 1-1 is fouled off towards the Aces dugout for strike 2. Seem to have scared a bit of members in the dugout there. Thankfully, they have a fence in front of their faces.
Yeah, almost a little bit of friendly fire, but Milewski inadvertently keeping his teammates on their toes, making sure they're all paying attention.
The 1-2 is popped up high. Ranging under it is the right fielder, Josh Skoronsky. He makes the catch for out number 3. So the Big Train fielders and Jake Villar from the mound, they leave 2 stranded on the base pads. Aces scratch across 2 to extend their lead to 4. Big Train looking to attack from the plate when we return with the top of the 3rd inning. You're listening to the Big Train Baseball Network. Stay tuned.
Cause nothing feels as good as summer.
And we're back on the Big Train Baseball Network with the top of the 3rd inning. Aces leading 4-0. You've got number 39, your right fielder for tonight, Josh Skoronsky, at the plate. Made the catch for the 3rd and final out during the previous half inning. He'll take that first offering from pitcher Kyle Miller outside for ball number 1. The 1-0. Popped over to left field, and it is caught by left fielder Jenkins for out number 1. So that'll bring up the 9-hitter and designated hitter, Matthew Wesley. Been absent from the starting lineup for a couple of games, but we've seen him make appearances as a pinch hitter during the last 2 games. First offering to Wesley is in the dirt for ball 1.
So the Big Train looking to respond after a pair of 2 spots from the Aces in the first couple innings here, and Wesley looking to set up the top of Big Train's lineup in a pretty good spot.
As the 1-0 is in the dirt for ball 2.
Waiting on deck is Jaden Bastian, who's been having a wonderful summer at the plate thus far. Was at the dish when the pitch from Andrew Powers of the T-Bolts got away,
As the 2-0 is upstairs for ball 3.
which allowed Chris Diaz at 3rd to score the winning run in the 10th.
Wesley now staring down a hitter's count, hoping to create some movement across the base pads for the Big Train. Here comes the 3-0. That one's in there for strike 1.
Miller following a similar idea that I talked about last half inning. You just got to see one go in. Even though it's a simple fastball, good to see it go by.
So the 3-1 is in there for strike 2. Wesley was prepared to make the run. He thought it might be ball number 4.
Very similar pitch there. Now Miller's got his confidence back with the count full.
Here comes the full count, and that one is fouled off into the bleachers right next to us here over on the first base line.
It's getting closer, Phoebe.
I like that you had your hand outstretched for that one.
As if I was going to extend it about,
Like 5 feet.
I'd say maybe more like 20.
As the full count is upstairs for ball 4. That'll walk Wesley out to first for the top of the order, number 2, Jaden Bastian. As you mentioned, Quentin, last night got off to a bit of a rough start, but quickly corrected himself with some great hitting in the later half of the game. Had a base hit followed by a hit by pitch, followed by a walk.
Now Bastian entering tonight just one behind the team lead for hits, which is currently shared by Davin Whitaker, and the batter on deck, Andrew Williamson.
First offering to Bastian, nailed out towards center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Wesley over on second. Bastian now on first. For the Cal Ripken League Hitter of the Week, Andrew Williamson, to step up to the plate, was walked during his first at-bat.
So now we've got a three-way tie for the team lead in hits. Now unless Whitaker pinch hits later in the game, he will not be able to catch either Bastian or Williamson, as he was held out of the starting lineup tonight, probably due to nothing other than rest.
As Williamson will show bunt, there's a throw from the catcher over to first, but it's not in time for the speedy Jaden Bastian.
DePalo's almost gotten a couple of big train runners at first.
Again, he's quick to pop up from those pitches to make the throw over, but the big train players on the base pads reading it well and getting over to first safely.
And we saw Williamson show bunt there with runners on first and second and one out. Let's see if he does it again.
He'll swing at this one but miss for strike one, so count moves to 1-1 on Williamson.
Now it's been almost a guarantee for Bethesda batters, if runners were on first and second with no outs, that they would lay down a bunt to try to move both of those runners into scoring position. But with one out and the big train down by 4, they'd like to have Williamson swing away here.
As the 1-1 swung on and missed again for strike 2. There's no throw over to first or second. So the count 1-2 on Williamson. Again, 1 out on the board for the big train. 2 runners on the bases. Hoping to move them over to home to bite back into this 4-run deficit. The 1-2 is popped up high, going down right field. And it is caught for out.
That one I think just landed foul. So Williamson will go back to the plate. The count still 1-2. And waiting on deck is Keenan Bowman.
Bowman's been having a great week. Earlier this week, he put up 2 home runs. Big Train fell just shy of the victory, but Bowman was having a stellar night. The 1-2 to Williamson, that one fouled off down the right field line.
Now, unlike Jenkins, Williamson is just so good at getting down and making good contact on pitches low and outside of the zone, as he has on these past couple of balls from Miller, as he'll step off the mound for a brief second and we'll get back on. Count still 1-2 with 1 out.
The 1-2, that one's popped up high, going down right field. And that one just foul again. So Williamson will return to the plate to face the 1-2 count yet again. He's doing well to extend his at-bat appearance.
His swing radius is just so wide. He is able to, again, make good contact on pitches even substantially out of the zone.
As the 1-2 down low in the dirt for ball number 2. So Williamson finally moving out of that 1-2 count. Count moves to 2-2 on Williamson. The 2-2 again outside for ball number 3. So the count moves full on Williamson. Again, 1 out on the board for the Big Train. They've got 2 runners on the base pads. Bowman on deck, representing the potential tying run.
Miller's going to send both runners back on the step off on the mound. Wouldn't like to think we're going to have a double steal considering the deficit the Big Train find themselves in.
The full count is outside for ball number 4. That'll walk Williamson out to first, his second walk of the night. That'll load the bases for number 9, Keenan Bowman. We'll see a quick mound visit over to Miller between catcher and pitching coach. No.
Go ahead, Phoebe, you were first.
We mentioned Bowman's been having some stellar nights with the big train, was a later addition to the squad, but since joining has been making a huge impact on the team, not just from the plate but also the field. He's playing shortstop tonight. We've seen him take over that position quite a few times. Last night included. But Bowman had a handful of walks and a base hit last night to help propel the big train to a 10-9 victory in the bottom of the 10th inning. The mound visit will conclude and we'll resume play here. Again, bases loaded for the big train. First offering to Bowman is outside for ball 1. They're calling time on the play. Bowman readjusting at the plate. Here comes the 1-0. It's in there for strike 1. Again, Bowman representing the tying run at the plate with bases loaded and only 1 out on the board. The 1-1 outside for ball 2.
Now Miller has only tested these big train batters upstairs just a small handful of times. A lot of his pitches have been low in the zone. Let's see if he goes there against Bowman.
The 2-1 is popped past the pitcher. Shortstop will make the throw over to second baseman. They'll make the throw over to first. So that'll get runner out on second. Bowman still safely aboard first.
But Wesley scoring on the fielder's choice, so the big train on the board here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Yep. Matthew Wesley, the designated hitter, representing the first run for the big train as catcher. Luke Vaughn steps up to the plate. He's got runners on the corner in Jaden Bastion over at 3rd and Keenan Bowman at 2nd. First offering to Vaughn in there for strike 1.
That was a really wonky defensive play there. That ball skipping up high on Peltier, but the deflection went perfectly into the hands of the second baseman Robertson, which allowed him to get the force at second and make it 2 outs.
As the 0-1 in there for strike 2. You can see the wind picking up here at Frank Mann Field. Dark covering of clouds. Rain expected, but hoping the rain will stay at bay to allow this baseball game to come to completion. The 1-1 in the dirt for ball 2. Catcher does not make a throw. Again, with runners on the corners, 2 outs on the board. Big train now sitting behind by 3, hoping to get Bastion home from 3rd to cut the Aces lead in half. As that one's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. He'll make the throw over to pitcher Miller, who charged in at home plate to try and make the out, but Bastion just too quick for him. He'll scratch across the 2nd run of the evening for the big train. We're now only trailing by 2.
Now DePaulo tried to backhand that one, but probably would like to have that one back and would have liked to have just put his body in front of that.
Kind of slid in the dirt there again, trying to still make the throw off the movement, but unable to for the speedy Bastion as the 2-2 also lands in the dirt, getting away from catcher DePaulo, and with that, Bowman will easily walk on to 3rd base. So with the 3rd run, now in scoring position, 2 outs on the board. The count is full on Vaughn. Here comes the 3-2. That one is outside for ball number 4. So Vaughn puts runners on the corner for number 45, Emilio Gonzalez, to step up to the plate. was struck out during his first at-bat, hoping to regain his composure and create some success for the Big Train. We'll see a mound visit. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Aces, so we're going to cut it over to commercial. Stay tuned when we return with the top of the third inning. You're listening to Big Train Baseball Network.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner, no. 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 Boogie down, mix up. Boogie down, fix up.
And welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. We're going to conclude the top of the third inning. Big Train has scratched across two to cut into the Aces lead. You've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Aces. It's going to be Tyler Johns. First offering to Emilio Gonzalez down low in the dirt for ball one. He's got runners on the corner in Keenan Bowman on third and Vaughn over on first. Vaughn was walked during his last at-bat to get him over to first. The 1-0 to Gonzalez swung on and missed for strike one.
John's coming to Alexandria from Elon University in North Carolina. Grew up in Collierville, Tennessee. Pitched 10 2/3 last season, allowing 17 earned.
As the 1-1 to Gonzalez is
Wow.
popped over to right field. See the right field arranging over at the fence. And it is over the fences for a home run for Emilio Gonzalez, his first of the summer. That'll clear the bases for the Big Train, who have now taken the lead in this ball game. Excellent piece of hitting from Emilio Gonzalez. We mentioned he was struck out during his first at-bat. What a way to come back. A home run to bring in runs 3, 4, and 5. Your Bethesda Big Train is now leading this game over the Alexandria Aces. We mentioned that they have fallen in the previous two meets in this series. Could be staring down their first win of the series. Landon Franklin now at the plate. He'll knock that one over towards center field.
Uh-oh.
And under it is center fielder Quinn Irons for the catch and out number 3. But your Big Train striking back with a 5 spot in the top of the 3rd to take the lead. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network when we come back.
Boogie, boogie, boogie down, baby. Can you boogie down?
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Your Big Train taking the lead with a 5 spot during the top of the 3rd inning. We're headed into the bottom of the 3rd with a new pitcher on the mound for the Big Train. It's going to be number 32, Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, it's going to be Alabama thrown to Alabama as Mitchell coming in for Villar in relief, who got tagged a bit in his 2 full innings of work. Although the Big Train's storming back in the top of the 3rd, they now lead 5-4 as there's the bunt.
From Harity, he'll get tagged out at first. Mitchell chasing down the bunt attempt to pass it off to Emilio Gonzalez, the first baseman, for the out.
And so now we're going to have Sam Robertson stepping up to the plate. It's going to be an Auburn Tiger sandwiched in between 2 Alabama players.
First offering to Robertson is down low in the dirt for ball 1.
Mitchell is an absolute skyscraper up there on the mound.
The 1-0 is upstairs for ball 2. But Sam Mitchell, as well as catcher Luke Vaughn, coming to Big Train earlier this week from Alabama. The 2-0 popped up high, going down right field. And it is fouled off. Sorry, it is caught over in right field by right fielder Josh Goronsky. So that'll get rid of Sam Robertson at the plate, sending up the 9-hitter, number 1, A.J. DePaulo.
Walking up to the way IR. Good song.
First offering to DePaulo is in there for strike 1. Mitchell and fielding squad retiring them early, but we've seen the Aces fight back with some excellent 2-out hitting in the previous innings as the 0-1 is upstairs for ball 1.
Now let's see if the Commodore can conquer the tide here.
The 1-1 down low for ball 2.
I'm not sure we've actually had any non-Alabama player who comes from a school whose mascot is related to the C facing an Alabama player.
The 2-1 is fouled off for ball number 2. Sorry, for strike 2. The count moving to 2-2 on DePaulo. 2 outs on the board for the Aces, who are now trailing by 1 run. The 2-2 upstairs. Count moving full on catcher DePaulo. Here comes the full count. And that one is nailed out towards left field. Under it, Jaden Bastion, he'll bobble it. And that'll allow DePaulo to round over to second base. He's headed towards third. The throw over to shortstop. Can't make the throw over to third in time, so DePaulo speeding around the base paths to get in scoring position. The tying run now in scoring position thanks to a triple from DePaulo for the leadoff hitter, Tim Nicholson, to step up to the plate.
So it turns out that specific Commodore was able to conquer the Tide. An unfortunate sequence of events from Bastion, who looked like he might dive again, but stopping just short.
Nicholson showed bunt, but the ball was upstairs for ball 1.
And that's never a good feeling as an outfielder, to put on the brakes at the last second only for the ball to hop right past you anyway.
And DePaulo very greedy, speeding around the base paths to make a triple, as Nicholson will send that over toward right center field for a base hit. And with that, the Aces score the tying run. Nicholson held up at second. Now, we said it before, we'll say it again. The Aces with some excellent 2-out hitting, really coming in clutch in these 2-out situations. They've now tied the game at 5. They've got the go-ahead run at second with number 28, Peltier, the shortstop for the Aces, at the plate. He's had base hits during his previous 2 at-bats. First offering to Peltier is up high for ball 1. The 1-0 is outside for ball 2. Again, seeing some words of encouragement from catcher Luke Vaughn to the pitcher on the mound.
Nicholson a hefty lead at second. Won't go, however.
It's the 2-0s upstairs for ball 3. So Peltier now staring down a hitter's count with the go-ahead run at second.
And a big bat in Jeremiah Jenkins waiting on deck.
The 3-0 is in there for strike 1, so Mitchell fighting back on the hitter's count.
That's a comfort fastball right there, and an okay pitch to throw if Peltier's not even going to think about swinging at it before the pitch was even thrown.
The 3-1 down low for a ball 4, so Peltier will walk on out to first. Aces now a runner on first in Peltier and second in Tim Nicholson for, as you called him, the big bat of Jenkins to step up to the plate. Got a double during his previous at-bat. Again, go-ahead run still at second for the Aces.
We're going to have a quick mound visit between Vaughn and Sam Mitchell that just concluded. A big spot here with Jenkins at bat. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. This game now tied at 5. The Aces plating at least 1 in each of the first 3 half innings.
The first offering to Jenkins is outside for ball 1.
Now, most of the damage Jenkins has done to the big train so far this season has been when the pitchers have left the ball over the heart of the plate, including his last at-bat where he ripped a double into right center field.
The 1-0 out in there for strike one.
And of course, the second I say that, Mitchell puts one right over the plate, but Jenkins not taking it.
Again, Peltier on first, Nicholson on second. 2 outs on the board for the Aces. The 1-1 is down low in the dirt for ball 2. Nicholson representing the go-ahead run for the Aces, who have tied this game at 5. Here comes the 2-1. That one's down low for ball 3.
Now I gotta say, Jenkins has done a really good job of laying off the low fastball. Again, oftentimes you'll get these big guys swinging and missing at off-speed pitches that initially look like strikes but then dip below the zone.
You see a pickoff attempt over at second. That one sailing over the glove of Bowman, just too high, and so that'll move Nicholson over to the third. Peltier now at second. So you've got 2 runners in scoring position for the Alexandria Aces. The go-ahead run now sitting at third, and Tim Nicholson. Jenkins facing a 3-1 count.
And so now a base hit likely scores not just 1 but 2 for the Aces. A costly mistake for Mitchell there.
3-1 is in there for strike 2, so the count moving full on Jenkins.
A spectacular recovery pitch there. That one just on the border.
The full count down low for ball 4, so that'll walk Jenkins out to first, loading the bases for the Aces. Jamie Quinn Irons stepping up to the plate, has been having an excellent night for the Alexandria Aces bats. Recorded a double during his first at-bat, followed that up with a base hit. Some similar success from the plate would bring in not only the go-ahead run, but could potentially bring in the runner off of second and first. The first offering to Quinn Irons is low for ball 1. The 1-0 is swung on and missed for strike 1. Throw over to third baseman, but Nicholson reading that well, sliding back into third to stay safely on base.
There was palpable concern in your voice. A good stop on the 1 hop to third from Vaughn to Franklin. If that one got by, that could have been not just 1 but 2 for the Aces.
And it's the 1-1 upstairs for ball 2. The 2-1 is chopped over to third baseman Franklin. He'll make the catch for out number for.
He was able to field the ground ball, but it was a tough enough catch to where he was not able to get a throw off to first, as Quinn Irons had the throw beat, or a potential throw beat by a good bit.
So the base is still loaded for the Aces with the go-ahead run already across the plate. Aces leading 6-5 for number 25 Riley DiCandido, the designated hitter.
We saw that happen to Bowman a few nights ago, where a chopper to the third base was just simply too high.
As the 0-1 is upstairs for ball 1.
Now Franklin was able to glove that one, but by the time he fielded it, Quinn Irons was just a couple of steps away from first, so a throw would have been not helpful at all.
As the 1-1 is fouled off for strike 2.
So a smart business decision by Landon Franklin to eat that one and let Quinn Irons stay at first.
The 1-2 is nailed over to second baseman Crosland, who will make the catch for out number 3. So the Aces take back their lead, now leading 6-5. They've put up 2 spots in every half inning they've been at the plate. Big Train looking to fight back when they step to the plate. when we come back on the Big Train Baseball Network.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping.
And we're back on the Big Train Baseball Network for the top of the 4th inning. Big Train at the plate leading off is going to be number 1, Jordan Crosland. So the Aces struck back with another 2 spot to take the lead, 6-5. Big Train hoping to attack as the 0-1 to Crosland is in the dirt for ball 1.
Due up for the Big Train is going to be the bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9. Skoronsky waiting on deck.
The 1-1 to Crosland is upstairs for ball 2. Now we saw the Big Train put up some early inning magic, a 5 spot in the top of the 3rd to give them the lead. Their lead quickly disappeared as the 2-1 upstairs for ball 3. Count moving to 3-1 on Crosland. Hoping for a couple more on the board to change the tides of this game as the 3-1 is chopped over to third baseman. He'll make the throw over to first in time. Crosland just a few steps behind. So that'll bring up number 39, Josh Skoronsky, to the plate.
Now, we haven't seen a Skronk smash in a while. It was about a couple of weeks ago. He put one over the right field fence at Shirley Povich. Now would be a wonderful time for home run number 2.
His first offering to Skoronsky is down low in the dirt for ball 1. The 1-0. Escaping the catcher there. Might have nicked Skoronsky in the elbow as he'll walk on out to first base with a hit by pitch. Bringing up the designated hitter in bottom of the order for the Big Train. Matthew Wesley was walked during his first at-bat tonight with a runner now on first. Hoping to get some movement across the base pads to not only tie the game but take the lead for the Train. Here comes the first offering to Wesley. He'll nail that one down center field at the wall. Looks like it was caught over in center field. So that'll record out number 2 for the Big Train as they send up the top of the order. Number 2, Jaden Bastian, had a base hit during his previous at-bat.
The Floridians have really carried the evening so far for the big train. Bastion Williamson and Emilio Gonzalez further down the order.
First offering to Bastion. Gets
Whoop.
away from the catcher there, and with that, Skoronski will easily steal second. So the count 1-0 on Bastion, with the tying run now on second. Go ahead at the plate. We've seen the Aces come up with some excellent 2-out hitting. Big Train hoping for some similar success as the 1-0 is outside for ball 2. Bless you.
Thank you.
The 2-0. Down low in the dirt. Again, getting away from catcher DePaolo. That one bouncing directly out of his glove. And with that, Skoronski will steal third. So you have the Big Train's tying run. Now in scoring position at third base. Bastion facing a hitter's count, representing the go-ahead run at the plate.
Bastion's seen a lot of wild pitches over the past about 24 hours, which included the game winner last night.
As the 3-0 is outside for ball number 4. So Bastion will take his walk out to first to bring up number 29. Andrew Williamson has been walked during his previous 2 at-bats. A similar outcome would load the bases for the Big Train, as they have the tying run on third, go ahead at first, 2 outs on the board. First offering to Williamson is up high for ball 1. The 1-0 down low in the dirt for ball 2. Paolo doing well to get behind that pitch. We saw a couple of them get away from him, which allowed Skoronski to skip on over to third and Bastion to walk out to first. The 2-0 to Williamson is outside, is in there for strike 1. So the count moves to 2-1 on Williamson. 2 outs on the board for the Big Train. Looking to bring in the tying run off of third, and Josh Skoronski on deck. Shortstop Keenan Bowman, the 2-1 outside for ball 3.
Williamson doing an excellent job of jetering out of that pitch. Basically a backwards thrust to sell the inside pitch. So the count now 3-1 with 2 outs.
The 3-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. So the count moves full on Williamson again. Bastion on first, Skoronski on third. The Big Train, trailing by just 1 run, put up a 5 spot in the top of the third to earn themselves a lead. The lead, but with the Aces putting up 2 spots in each inning. Quickly took the lead back as Williamson will line that one down the right field. In comes Skoronski with the tying run. Bastion rounding third. He'll bring in the leading run. Williamson getting held up at third base. My goodness, excellent piece of hitting from Andrew Williamson. Line that one down the right field line.
I hope the Aces brought their fire extinguisher, because Williamson's bat is on fire. That one just evading the glove of a diving Maluski at first. And the Big Train striking back with a pair of their own to take a 7-6 lead here in the top of the 4th.
With Williamson now on third, Keenan Bowman, the shortstop for tonight, at the plate. We talked about excellent 2-out hitting from the Aces. Big Train showing off some of their own as the first offering to Bowman's in there for strike 1.
We've now had 4 consecutive half innings with at least a run for either side.
The 0-1 outside for ball 1.
It's been all fireworks over the past few contests for the Big Train. Tonight's no different here at Frank Mann Field.
The 1-1 outside for ball 2.
And the Big Train doing it in a different way than the Aces, as Bethesda's gotten most of their runners on through hit by pitches and walks.
The 2-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. Bowman stepping out of the batter's box for a moment to regain his composure.
Whereas the Aces, on the other hand, they have out-hit the Big Train so far by 6, but trail by 1.
The 2-2 bouncing in the dirt, knocking the catcher in the mask there. That'll move the count. Sorry, it
So
looks like it might have got a piece of Bowman there. He is hit by the pitch to walk himself out to first, so runners now on the corner. Looked like it just caught Bowman in the ankle there. Bounced off of it into the catcher's helmet. So runners on the corner now for the Big Train, as we'll see a quick mound visit over the Aces. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change for the Aces, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned when we return with the top of the 4th. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Top of the 4th, Big Train have taken the lead 7-6, have runners on the corners, and Bowman, who was hit by a pitch to walk himself out to first, and Williamson, who recorded a triple to get over to third. At the plate, catcher Luke Vaughn, he'll take the first offering in the dirt for ball 1.
So Vaughn's left a positive early impression on the Big Train, both behind the plate and at the plate.
As the 0-1 is down low outside for ball 2.
Had a base hit in his last at-bat, which set the batter on deck, Emilio Gonzalez, up nicely.
The 2-0 in there for strike 1. Got a new pitcher on the mound for the Alexandria Aces, number 15, Quinn Yellen.
And you know what that means. It's submarine time.
We saw him during the Big Train's previous meeting with the Aces at Shirley Povich, as the 2-1 is low and outside for ball 3. The 3-1. is outside for ball number 4. So Luke Vaughn walking out to first. That'll push Bowman over to second, loading the bases for Emilio Gonzalez again, setting him up well.
Had a 3-run home run in his last at-bat. I'd been saying on the broadcast, I'd say incessantly that he would pull one deep at some point, and lo and behold, that's exactly what he did last at-bat, a no-doubter to pull the big train ahead.
And what a time to do so. Contributed to the 5 spot during the top of the 3rd. That gave the big train their initial lead. He'll take the first offering high for ball 1. The 1-0 swung on and missed for strike 1. So again, Big Train has scratched across 2 already to take the lead 7-6. With 2 outs on the board, bases loaded, the 1-1 is outside for ball number 2. Count moving 2-1 on Emilio Gonzalez.
That was a very similar pitch as the last one that got Gonzalez swinging and missing, so a good job of holding up there to get ahead in the count.
The 2-1 upstairs for ball 3.
And one of the slight issues with being a sidearm pitcher is that anything high in the zone looks more like a ball than it does with a regular pitcher earlier in the pitch, so it's tough to get batters up there.
As the 3-1 fouled off for strike 2. Count moves full on Emilio Gonzalez. 2 outs on the board for the Big Train. Bases loaded. They lead by 1, but hoping to cushion that lead further to make things really difficult for the Aces. The full count upstairs for ball 4, so that'll walk in run number 8 for the Big Train. Bases still loaded with Gonzalez on first, Vaughn on second, and Bowman on third. Now up at the plate, number 22, Landon Franklin, the 3rd baseman for tonight.
And so Yellen trying to get Gonzalez to bite on something upstairs, but Gonzalez didn't really look interested in swinging at that pitch the entire way.
As the first offering to Franklin is low and outside for ball 1.
And so Yellen will probably have to do most of his damage in the lower half of the zone.
The 1-0 upstairs, in there for strike 1. Count moving to 1-1 on Landon Franklin. We've already seen some excellent 2-out hitting from the Big Train to give them a now 8-6 lead. The 1-1 popped up high. It's going down center field. Ranging under it is center fielder Jamie Quinn Irons for the catch and out number 3. So the Big Train leave 3 stranded, but put up a 3 spot to take the 8-6 lead. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. And we're back on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Your Big Train now leading 8-6. Leading off for the Aces is going to be number 23, Kevin Malewski, was struck out during his previous at-bat. First offering is fouled off for strike 1.
So that was in the direct path towards where I parked. I thought I was pretty out of the way, but of course, that's not how it ultimately went.
As the 0-1 is in the dirt for ball 1.
I will now be slightly on edge for the rest of the game.
The 1-1 popped foul again, headed in the same direction, headed towards Quentin and one of our lovely interns, Lexi's car. Count moving to 1-2 on Malewski. The 1-2 is in there for strike 3 and out number 1 for the Aces. So Malewski back-to-back strikeouts at the plate. Big Train hoping to retire them early and protect their now 8-6 lead. Now stepping up, gonna be number 11, Ben Harity. First offering is in there for strike 1.
Mitchell already looking a lot better this half inning.
The 0-1 in the dirt, getting away from catcher there a little bit. But that'll move the count to 1-1 on Harity. The 1-1 in the dirt for ball 2. Now we've seen the Aces put up 2 spots in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Now sitting behind by 2 is the 2-1. Check swing, did he go around? He did not, so that'll move the count to 3-1 on Harity.
And waiting on deck is the second baseman, Sam Robertson.
As the 3-1's in there for strike 2. Count moving full on Harity. Again, Aces only sitting behind by 2 have recorded 2 every inning of the game. Some similar success would tie the game as the 3-2 fouled off. Harity will stay alive at the plate to face the full count yet again. The full count. Oh, will knock him in the helmet. Actually knocks his helmet off of his head. Looks to be all right. Shaking it off.
Harity's still on his 2 feet. He'll take a trot down to first. That is one tough Bronco.
It's his second hit by pitch of the night.
Second baseman, Sam
That one probably more of a shock than an actual injury as it knocked his bucket straight off of his head. But with that, the Aces have 1 on first and out on the scoreboard. Sam Robertson now at the plate. He'll take the first offering. He'll nail that one to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. So with Robertson now on first, Harity bumped over to second. That'll bring up the 9-hitter and catcher. AJ DiPaolo had a triple during his previous at-bat that allowed the Aces to regain the lead. We'll see a quick mound visit over to Sam Mitchell. But Quentin, we've seen a lot of excellent 2-out hitting so far this game. Typically, you've seen the Big Train have to put up magic numbers in the later innings. What do you think is contributing to some of the success we're seeing tonight?
I think it's remaining aggressive, the mentality not changing, even though there are 1 or 2 more outs on the board than maybe per usual for some of these batters. But it's remaining level-headed. It's not changing the approach drastically, treating it like every other at-bat, not making it anything bigger than it has to be.
And with that, we're going to see a pitching change. It's going to be number 14, Joey Wimpelberg. We'll catch you back here for the remainder of the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to Big Train Baseball Network.
watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network to resume the bottom of the 4th inning. We've got a new pitcher on the mound and a brand new Big Train member. It's number 34, Evan Hart. Quentin, care to explain why Evan's been absent so far this summer as the first offering?
Yeah, he was a little busy in Omaha, Nebraska, for something called the College World Series, I hear. But he's here now as his Kentucky Wildcats were dominated by Florida, who eventually lost to Texas A&M.
As DePaulo will take that outside for ball 2.
And Texas A&M in the championship series against top-seeded Tennessee won the first game but dropped the second game today, so a do-or-die game 3 on tap. Super duper excited for that one.
Again, Aces have runners on first and second. The 2-0 nailed over to third baseman, just escaping the glove of Franklin, scooped up by Bastian. He'll make the throw over towards third, but the Aces strike back with a run across the plate. That'll bring the score 8-7. Big Train still leading, but
Leadoff batter,
the Aces
Nicholson.
now have 2 in scoring position, with the top of the order stepping up to the plate in Tim Nicholson. So DePaulo with a triple, followed it up with a double, having a very successful night from the plate. Nicholson also had a double during his previous at-bat. He'll take the first offering for strike 1. Gotta say, the sky is just gorgeous right now. We've got a potential incoming storm, which has created a lot of dark clouds, but you can see the sun starting to set over the left field trees here at Frank Mann Field, as Nicholson will nail that one out towards center field. It'll drop for a base hit. That'll bring in runs off of third and bring in DePaulo for runs 7, 8, and 9. So Aces now leading the game, and Tim Nicholson makes it over to second for his second double of the night. So the Aces matching the Big Train's 3 spot in the top of the 4th with one of their own to take the lead once again. Quite the handoff in lead.
Yeah, call that the election of 1789, the way George Washington just conquered the Midwest.
Number 28, Peltier at the plate now. Again, with Nicholson over at second. First offering to Peltier outside for ball 1. We've seen a very competitive ball game between these two teams. The 1-0 is nailed out towards center field. Under it is Williamson with the catch for out number 2. So that'll retire Peltier, bringing up number 36, Jenkins. But we've seen a very competitive ball game here tonight. Again, the Aces are leading the series 2-0. Big Train hoping to scratch across their first win in the series. Have been doing well to battle back against the Aces.
Jenkins walking up to Russian Cream by Key Glock, reminiscent of Big Train alum Grant Knipp,
It's the first offering to Jenkins is outside for ball 1.
who walked up to the same song. Really brings me back to the good old days of 2021.
The 1-0 is down low for ball 2. Jenkins has recorded a double of his own tonight, was walked during his previous at-bat.
Now, I will say, if Sam Mitchell is the Empire State Building, Evan Hart's the Chrysler Tower.
It's the 2-0 swung on and missed for strike 1.
Hart listed on Kentucky's website at a towering 6'5". Was the Kentucky Gatorade Player of the Year in 2023.
As the 2-1 swung on and missed again for strike 2, you'll see Jenkins step out of the batter's box for a moment to regain his composure. Saw some excellent 2-out hitting from them earlier. The 3-2 outside for ball 3. That'll move the count full on Jenkins. Saw some excellent 2-out hitting from the Aces earlier in the game. This time, the 1-out hitting, bringing the Aces the lead once again. Score is 9-8 in favor of the Aces. Full count. Swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 3. So the Big Train leaves one stranded at second, but the Aces have already scratched across 3 to take the lead. Big Train looking to attack from the plate when we return on the Big Train Baseball Network.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner, no. 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 Boogie down, mix up. Boogie down, fix up. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you groove. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you boogie down. Hey baby, I love the way you move.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Big Train now trailing 9-8 after a 3-spot in the bottom of the 4th from the Aces. Crosland, the leadoff hitter for the Big Train, took the first offering for a strike. The 0-1 in the dirt for ball 1. Again, Quinn Yellen on the mound for the Aces.
We've had 5 consecutive half innings with runs.
The 1-1 outside for ball 2. Big Train hoping to continue that pattern, get a couple runs on the board to reestablish the lead. We've seen the lead be handed off again and again. The 3-1 popped up high and fouled off past the bleachers. Headed towards my car this time.
I think that one stayed within the grounds of the park.
The count 2-2 on Crosland. On deck is going to be Josh Skoronsky. The 3-2 swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 1 for the Big Train. Skoronsky was hit by a pitch during his previous at-bat to propel the Big Train towards a 3-spot, which earned them the lead. Their lead is now dissipated after the Aces struck back with a 3-spot of their own. First offering to Skoronsky outside for ball 1. On deck, the designated hitter, Matthew Wesley, the 1-0 outside for ball 2.
Now there's a little bit of the Skoronsky shuffle that we were promised preseason. Also, if we're talking about player routines, does a squat that resembles that of Klay Thompson at the free throw line.
The 2-0 check swing went around for strike 1.
Watch, we'll do it again. Yep, right there. Did you miss it?
I did. I looked away for a minute.
Next pitch.
The 2-1. That'll be fouled off for strike 2. He'll step out of the batter's box for a moment to regain his composure. Count 2-2 on Skoronsky.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Right there.
Oh, well, he lays the bat down in the middle of his feet before picking it back up. The 2-1 upstairs for ball 3. Count moves full on Skoronsky with 1 out on the board for the Big Train. They're trailing by 1. The 3-2 is outside for ball number 4. So Skoronsky happily walks on out to first, puts a runner on the base pads for the designated hitter, Matthew Wesley. This walk-up song representative of the game we've seen tonight. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down. Big Train fans' hopes have been brought up and brought back down as the lead is exchanged hands, and numerous times. First offering down low for ball 1.
Completely erroneous hypothetical. What if we hear that song at Shirley Povich Field and manager Sal Colangelo just steps into the box?
The 1-0 is chopped over to the third baseman. He'll make the throw over to second. The second baseman makes the throw over to first for the double play to end the half inning. So the Big Train held scoreless, leave runners stranded on the base pads, trailing by 1. Stay tuned with us as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to Big Train Baseball Network.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up. 'Cause nothing feels as good as summer love.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Your Big Train trailing by 1. Pitcher on the mound, Evan Hart, hoping to keep the Aces scoreless to give the Big Train a fighting chance to take back the lead. Leadoff hitter for the Aces is going to be number 35, Jamie Quinn Irons. He'll take that first offering low and in the dirt for ball 1.
It's going to be 4, 5, 6 due up for the Aces. Quinn Irons, DeCandido, and Maluski.
Next offering is upstairs for ball 2.
Hart taking a slight tumble there, but looks to be A-okay.
So the count moves to 2-0 on Quinn Irons. So the Aces put up a 3 spot in the previous inning to take the 9-8 lead. The 2-0 is in the dirt for ball 3. The 3-0 is down low for ball number 4. With that, Quinn Irons gonna walk out to first. Has had a very successful night at the plate. Kicked things off with a double followed by 2 base hits. Now walking out to first to set up the designated hitter, Riley DeCandido. DeCandido got a base hit during his previous at-bat. Pickoff attempt at first unsuccessful. First offering to DeCandido outside for ball 1. The 1-0 is chopped over to shortstop, who will make the tag at second. Throw over to first is not in time. So the Big Train records 1 out, getting Jamie Quinn Irons off of second. But DeCandido safely aboard first.
No, I think they actually overturned the call. It's going to be a...
They are overturning the call for player interference. So that'll record outs 1 and 2.
Riley D can't do that.
Next up is going to be number 23, Maluski. Been struck out during his previous 2 at-bats. We've seen some excellent 2-out hitting from the Aces. Evan Hart hoping to shut that pattern down and hold them scoreless for the first time this game. First offering to Maluski, flies out towards right center field, and it is over the fences for a home run. Maluski fights back after being struck out twice with one over the fences.
That one off the bat, I thought that one might be heading back to Wallingford, Connecticut, where Maluski hails from. But that one just clearing the fence out in right center. The Aces now lead 10-8.
So with the no one on base, but 2 outs on the board, number 11, Ben Harity, steps up to the plate again. 2 outs on the board for the Aces, who are now leading 10-8. Evan Hart hoping to stop the bleeding here. First offerings in there for strike 1.
And so now that makes it 5 consecutive innings with at least 1 run for the Aces. Just consistent excellence on the offensive side for the reigning CBL regular season champions.
The 0-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. So Hart now staring down a pitcher's count. We've noted before that throughout the Cal Ripken League, pitchers have struggled with the 0-2 count to come to completion with strike 3. The 0-2 is fouled off towards the Aces dugout.
Almost drilling a couple of Aces interns down there.
The 0-2. That one's fouled off again. So Harity staying alive to face the 0-2 count yet again. The 0-2 in the dirt for ball 1. The 1-2 to Harity is fouled off again towards the Aces dugout.
Harity really testing his bench as well as the bullpen.
The 1-2 is outside for ball 2. Sun is fully setting here at Frank Mann Field, and the cloud coverage is dark as the 2-2 is down low for ball 3.
The sky looking a little ominous, but according to weather radars, Frank Mann Field not supposed to get rain, but rather just some winds.
The full count is outside for ball number 4, so that'll walk Harity out to first, bringing up number 4, Sam Robertson.
Second baseman, Sam
So runner on first,
Robertson.
2 outs on the board. Aces already leading 10-8. Hoping to cushion that lead even further if they have watched the big train continue to bite back. First offering to Robertson. Skid past Robertson and away from the catcher Vaughn. And with that, Harity will easily steal second. The count 1-0 on Robertson.
Now, Kentucky is pitching to Auburn with Alabama behind the backstop.
We'll see a quick mound visit over to Harity from the bullpen coach and catcher Luke Vaughn.
I mean, what is this? Several SEC men's basketball powers who are all really good at some point over the past decade and change.
Again, we've seen a lot of new faces start to filter in to the Big Train's roster after they finished their time playing in the College World Series. Evan Hart, one of those players that was a part of the Kentucky Wildcat team playing in the College World Series. Looks like we'll have a conclusion of the mound visit. Count 1-0 on Robertson with a runner on second, 2 outs on the board. Aces already sitting ahead 10-8. Can see Hart peeking over to second. Here comes the 1-0. That one's fouled off for strike 1. The 1-1 outside for ball 2. So we've watched the Aces put up at least 2 during the previous 4 innings. Evan Hart now hoping to hold them at just the 1 and break that pattern. Here comes the 2-1. That one's popped over to left field. Ranging under it is Jaden Bastian. He'll make the glove catch for out number 3. So the Aces scratch across 1 to extend their lead to 10-8. The Big Train looking to strike back from the plate when we return with the top of the 6th inning. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network.
Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush.
And we're back on the Big Train Baseball Network as we head in to the top of the 6th inning. Big Train trailing by 2, scores 10-8. Aces put in a new pitcher on the mound in number 36, Yayinda Zhang.
This is only Zhang's second appearance of the summer. Pitched an inning and a third a little while ago, gave up 4 walks. Looking to bounce back here against the Big Train.
First up is going to be number 2, Jaden Bastian, was walked during his previous at-bat. First offering, 2 Bastian swung on and missed for strike 1. The 0-1 is popped foul for strike 2. The 0-2 is outside, is in there for strike 3, so that'll be out number 1. Bastian left looking at the plate, sending up number 29, Andrew Williamson. Got a triple during his previous at-bat, has a pair of walks. Again, the Big Train has fallen 0-2 in the series between the Aces, hoping to strike back as the first offering to Williamson is upstairs for ball 1. The 1-0 in the dirt for ball number 2. Williamson has been one of the most aggressive hitters for the Big Train squad, which earned him the title of Cal Ripken League Hitter of the Week. Again, recorded a triple during his previous at-bat as he'll foul the 2-0 off. Sorry, that one fouled off the 2-0 for strike 1. The 2-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. So the count moves to 2-2 on Williamson. Big Train already has 1 out on the board. They're trailing by 2.
Waiting on deck is the shortstop, Keenan Bowman.
Was hit by a pitch during his previous at-bat. He's also gotten a base hit earlier this evening as the 2-2 far upstairs to move the count full on Williamson. The 3-2 is outside for ball number 4, so Williamson will take his 3rd walk of the night as he heads to first, sending up shortstop Keenan Bowman to the plate. Again, with the Big Train trailing by 2, hoping to create some movement across the base pads. Big Train was held scoreless during the previous half inning. Hoping to strike back here from the plate. First offering to Bowman, it's out, sitting there for strike 1. The 0-1 in the dirt
Whoops.
for ball one, and with that, Williamson will easily steal second. That one got away from catcher DePaolo there, allowing Williamson to bump on over to second. The 1-1 to Bowman.
Whoa.
Past the catcher's head, and with that, Williamson will easily steal third. So the 9th run for the Big Train now in scoring position. Bowman staring down a 2-1 count. We'll see a mound visit between catcher DePaolo and Zhang on the mound.
The newly renovated facility.
This game
has
is,
the new weight equipment along with
if you've
sauna,
been tuned in the
whirlpool,
whole
and
time, it's been
state-of-the-art
back and forth.
locker room.
A whole lot of
Before this
fireworks.
game, you will likely
Not
see
too
our
dissimilar from the
players
game
working
earlier
out
today
as
between
One Life
the
Fitness
T-Bolts and
is
Senators
the
in
Aces
Waldorf,
partner.
as the Senators walked off the
One Life
T-Bolts
Fitness
on a
for all
sacrifice
of
fly
your
earlier
fitness
today.
needs.
That's back-to-back walk-off losses for the T-Bolts. Also 4 consecutive losses by 2 runs or fewer.
So count 2-1 on Bowman. So we'll see a conclusion of the mound visit. One out on the board with Williamson in third base. The 2-1 is outside for ball 3.
And waiting on deck is the catcher, Luke Vaughn.
Creating some fireworks of his own during his first appearance with the Big Train this summer. The 3-1 is upstairs for ball number 4. Bowman walked on out to first, putting runners on the corner for the catcher, Luke Vaughn. We've seen Vaughn pick up a pair of walks as well as a base hit during his 3 at-bats tonight. We'll see another mound visit over to the pitcher, Zhang.
And we've already got some slight warm-up action in the bullpen. Interestingly enough, it was Tyler Johns who was throwing up against the fence.
Tyler Johns was pitching in the game earlier this evening, came in for relief for the starting pitcher, Kyle Miller.
Now this is baseball, not softball. Where in the latter you can sub players back in even after they've been subbed out.
So we'll see a conclusion of the mound visit again. Luke Vaughn at the plate with runners on the corners. 1 out on the board for the Big Train. First offering is fouled off down the third base line.
Now batting for the Big
So
Train,
that'll bring the count to 0-1 on Vaughn. The 0-1 upstairs for ball 1.
A lot of these pitches from Zhang have been high and outside. No one from the Big Train seeming to take the bait.
The 1-1 again upstairs for ball 2. Can hear some encouragement from the Big Train dugout coming from number 28, Jack Robinson, and manager Sal Colangelo behind him. The
Whoa.
2-1 sailing over the head of catcher DePaolo, and with that, Bowman gonna steal second. That puts 2 runners in scoring position for Luke Vaughn, who's staring down a 3-1 count.
And waiting on deck is Emilio Gonzalez.
The 3-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. So that'll move the count full on Vaughn.
Zhang also really leaning on his fastball. Let's see if he goes back to it for what could be a huge out for the Aces, as the tying run is standing at second in Keenan Bowman.
The full count in the dirt for ball number 4. With that, Vaughn gonna walk out to first to load the bases for Emilio Gonzalez. Has already sent one over the fences earlier this evening, with the tying run still on second and Keenan Bowman.
I will say, for as many times as Zhang has hit the backstop thus far,
Emilio
probably
Gonzalez.
thankful that the backstop here at Frank Mann Field is very short. Williamson has barely even thought about going home on any of those pitches.
First offering to Gonzalez is upstairs for ball 1. The 1-0 is nailed out towards center field. Ranging under it is center fielder, but it's gonna be gloved, but big train runners are gonna go. That'll bring in Williamson off third, Bowman off second, and Vaughn off of first. A 3-run hit from Gonzalez, his second of the night. Excellent night to be Emilio Gonzalez. He's gonna take his base at second. Looks like we're gonna have a pitching change for the Alexandria Aces. We're gonna take a quick commercial break here on Big Train Baseball Network. Stay tuned with the remainder of the top of the 6th inning.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Still in the top of the 6th inning, where your Big Train has put up a 3-spot already to take the lead 11-10. Emilio Gonzalez, another bases clearing hit, his second of the night. He's on second base. Landon Franklin up at the plate. 1 out on the board for the Big Train. First offering to Franklin is outside for ball 1. Got a new pitcher on the mound for the Aces. It's Reese Crochet.
Crochet playing his college ball at George Washington, hailing from right here in Alexandria, Virginia.
The 1-0 outside for, in there for strike 1. The count moving 1-1 on Franklin.
Played his high school ball at T.C. Williams. Now, if that name sounds familiar, that was the high school featured in Remember the Titans.
As the 1-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. Remember the Titans is such a good movie. Watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Do you still remember them?
Always remember the Titans as the 1-2 is in the dirt for ball 2.
Are you more of a strong side or a left side kind of person?
I'm sorry?
Are you more of a strong side or a left side kind of person?
The 2-2 fouled off, so Franklin will stay at the to face the 2-2 again. Again, Emilio Gonzalez waiting on second. His bases clearing double has given the Big Train the lead as the 2-2 fouled off again.
Waiting on deck is Jordan Crosland.
The 2-2 fouled off again. So Franklin still at the plate to face the 2-2 count.
Crochet's just got so much mustard on that fastball. And combined with a funky release angle, just so tough to hit.
The 2-2 is outside for ball 3.
And then, as we just saw right there, he can sprinkle in a little off speed.
The count moves full on Franklin. He's got a runner on second. The full swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 2. That'll bring up number 1. Jordan Crosland had a heck of a night last night, recording his second home run of the night. Crosland struck out at the plate during his last at-bat, hoping to move Gonzalez off of second. First offering to Crosland is in there for strike 1.
Crochet also another tall, towering pitcher. That's been the theme of the night for both teams.
As the 0-1 is outside for ball 1.
Now Crochet is pitched just 20 1/3 innings over his first 2 years at GW, has allowed 18 earned runs.
The 1-1 swung on and missed for strike 2.
I mean, blink once and you'll miss that fastball. My goodness.
So with 2 outs on the board, Crosland only afforded 1 more strike. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 3. That leaves Gonzalez stranded on second, but the Big Train has fought their way back into the lead with a 3 spot in the top of the 6th inning. Stay tuned as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to the Big Train Baseball Network. And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Your Big Train put up a 3 spot in the top of the 6th inning to reestablish their lead. It's now 11-10. New pitcher on the mound. Another new face to the Bethesda Big Train, going to be number 35, Jake Titus at the plate. The catcher, AJ DePaulo, he'll take the first offering in the dirt for ball 1.
So Titus, another Kentucky Wildcat who was busy doing some other stuff in the middle of the country.
As the 1-0 is outside for ball 2.
Hails from Ottawa, Kansas.
As the 2-0 is outside for ball 3.
Now the batter at the plate, AJ DePaulo, according to Point Streak, entered today 2 of 33. He's already matched that total in just a couple of hours.
The 3-0 is in there for strike 1. The 3-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. That one knocking off the mask of the home plate umpire. He looks to be okay, but he'll step off to fix his gear. So with that being fouled off, DePaulo will stay alive at the plate for another 3-2 pitch.
Now we had this situation arise a little while ago. The home plate umpire actually getting knocked out of the game, but this one seems a-okay, as they're going to have a quick discussion here, and he will remain in the game. The count now full on DePaulo.
Full count on DePaulo. Aces have yet to be held scoreless, have put up at least 1 run in every of the 5 innings played thus far. The full count to DePaulo is low for ball number 4. With that, AJ DePaulo gonna take a walk over to first, sending up the top of the order. Tim Nicholson has had a pair of doubles already tonight. So Jake Titus, last night at Shirley Povich Field was host family appreciation night. We got to meet the son of Jake Titus's host family, as the first offering to Nicholson is fouled off for strike 1. Young Riley joined us in the booth for a half inning to watch the action from the press box. The 0-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. The 0-2 in the dirt for ball 1.
So a big early test for Titus, facing a super dangerous top of the order for the Aces.
Again, with many new faces filtering in to the Big Train this week, a lot of them getting their chance to shine on the mound, work the arm a little bit. The 1-2.
There he goes.
Fouled off. So Nicholson will stay alive at the plate to face the 1-2 again.
DePaulo beelining for second on that pitch, but will have to retreat back to first.
The 1-2 in the dirt for ball 2. Gets away from the catcher there with that. DePaulo gonna steal second. So the Aces with the tying run now in scoring position. Nicholson still at the plate to face the 2-2 count. Nicholson stepping out of the batter's box for a moment. Step back in to resume play. The 2-2 is nailed out towards right field. That'll be caught by Josh Skoronsky in right field. A diving effort from the right fielder to record out number 1 for the Aces. DePaulo still on second.
A heck of a catch by Skoronsky. Retiring big-time Timmy Jim from the Aces lineup. Had a couple of big-time hits tonight and really throughout this entire season.
That's right. Nicholson recorded a pair of doubles earlier in the evening. As now number 28, Peltier, going to step up to the plate. First offering is outside for ball 1. DePaulo itching to get off second base and score the tying run. The 1-0. Oh, looks like Titus was going to go for the throw at second. Changed his mind as DePaulo read that well. Speeding back over to second.
Oh, we're going to get a balk call here on Jake Titus. So that'll advance DePaulo to third. That's the Big Train's first balk of the season. Not a great time for it. The tying run just a base away now.
So with the tying run a base away, 1 out on the board. Here comes the 1-0. That one's fouled off over the fences on the right field. Can see some young fans chasing after it.
I hope the ice cream truck down there is okay. That's been serving people well all night.
The 1-1 fouled off towards the Aces dugout for strike 2. So the count 1-2 on Peltier. 1 out on the board for the Aces. Tying run at third. 1-2 is outside for ball 2. The 2-2 is chopped over past between the hole between third and second, so that'll bring in the tying run. AJ DePaulo walking in the tying run as Peltier will take his base over at first. Great piece of hitting from Peltier. A ground ball in between the infielders for a base hit. That'll bring up Jenkins with the go-ahead run. Now on first, only 1 out on the board for the Aces.
These choppers by the Aces have been helicopter dangerous tonight.
As the first offering to Jenkins is fouled off for strike 1.
I mean, Landon Franklin's barely had any chance on those at third base.
It's funny you mention helicopters. We've seen a couple of them fly over Frank Mann Field here tonight.
There goes the runner.
1-1 throw over to second. It is not in time. So the runner, Peltier, sped over to second from first. The throw from catcher Vaughn, not in time. So the go-ahead run now at second. Jenkins still facing a 1-1 count. The 1-1 outside for ball 2.
You're not really going to get Jenkins with much upstairs. Titus is going to have to try the middle lower half like that. Oh.
2-1 just outside for ball 3. Can hear some words of encouragement coming from the dugout as well as the stands. Have a couple of Big Train fans in attendance tonight as the 3-1 swung on and missed. For strike 2, the count moves full on Jenkins.
And that's exactly what Titus is going to have to do in order to retire Jenkins. He has to throw it in his wheelhouse.
Peltier still on second. You'll see a pickoff attempt at second. Not in time. So Peltier still holed up at second base, representing the go-ahead run. Jenkins facing a full count. Here comes the 3-2. That one swung on and missed. Jenkins, third strikeout of the night, his second in a row. Out number 2 for the Aces, bringing up Jamie Quinn Irons to the plate, was walked during his previous at-bat, but has recorded a double earlier this evening.
Titus threw a couple of pitches into the belly of the beast, and he won. He's now won, or excuse me, the Big Train have won now back-to-back times against Jenkins. Now let's see if he can do the same with Quinn Irons.
First offering to Irons, swung on and missed for strike one. Again, 2 outs on the board for the Aces. They have the go-ahead run on second in Peltier with Quinn Irons at the plate. The 0-1 in the dirt for ball one. Quinn Irons yet to be left at the plate tonight, recorded a double, followed it up with a pair of base hits, and then was walked during his previous at-bat. Been a difficult part of the order for the Big Train. The 1-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. So Titus a strike away from keeping this a tie ball game. The 1-1 fouled off. So the count's still 1-2 on Quinn Irons. 2 outs on the board. The go-ahead run at second. Here comes the 1-2. That one's just outside for ball 2.
Really good frame from Vaughn there, but just not convincing enough to the home plate umpire. That one looking like a borderline pitch.
The count 2-2 on Quinn Irons. Here comes a 2-2. And that one's in there for strike 3. Excellent work from Titus. Leaves one stranded on second. The Big Train gonna move out of this half inning with a tie ball game. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network as we take you in to the top of the 7th inning.
Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. 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 Boogie down, mix up. Boogie down, fix up. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Said hey baby, I love the way you groove. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Said hey baby, I love the way you boogie down. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Boogie down. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the top of the 7th inning. Aces putting a new pitcher on the mound, number 12, Josh Rivera. Aces struck back with 1 in the bottom of the 6th to tie this game at 11. Jake Titus working hard from the mound, left an ace stranded at second to keep this a tied ball game. As now your Big Train gonna try and strike back from the plate. First up, number 39, Josh Skoronsky.
Josh Rivera, hailing from Leesburg, Virginia, played his first couple of years of college ball at UMBC, but entered his name into the transfer portal.
Is the first offering to Skoronsky in the dirt for ball 1.
Pitched 25 and 2/3 innings in 2023, registering a 6.31 ERA, but pitched just 4 and 2/3 this past season for the Retrievers.
The 1-0 is, looks like it might have nicked Skoronsky in the back there. So that's his second time being hit by a pitch tonight, but he'll happily take his base over on first, sending up the designated hitter and bottom of the order, Matthew Wesley.
Designated hitter, Matthew Wesley.
Now there it looked like Rivera was trying Skoronsky with a slider that just got away from him.
First offering to Wesley is outside for ball 1.
Now Rivera has a 3-pitch arsenal. He's got a fastball, slider, and a changeup. That fastball topping out at around 94 miles an hour.
As the 1-0 is inside for strike 1.
His slider currently averaging around the low 80s, same as his changeup.
Pickoff attempt at first unsuccessful.
Now would be an extremely inopportune time for a base running mishap. Now after Emilio Gonzalez was thrown out at home last night, the Big Train exceptional base running the rest of the way. Let's see if they can keep that going tonight.
It's the 1-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. The 1-2 is in there for strike 3, so that'll retire Matthew Wesley. Bringing up the top of the order, Jaden Bastian was struck out at the plate during his last at-bat. So the Aces have yet to be held scoreless in the inning. The Big Train been held scoreless a handful of times throughout this ball game, but their 5 spot in the top of the 3rd has been holding them through this game. Another pickoff attempt at first, unsuccessful. Their 3 spot in the top of the 6th pushed them into the lead. Aces struck back. Again, we've just seen a handoff of the lead again and again throughout this ball game. Now tied at 11. First offering to Bastian is outside for ball 1.
Now the relievers for Alexandria, just so much velocity on their fastballs. Especially the previous pitcher, Crochet.
The 1-0 upstairs for ball 2. See a throw from DePaulo over to first, but it's not in time. So Skoronsky making the Aces very uncomfortable over at first.
And getting his jersey awfully dirty in the process. But that simply means a good, hard evening's work.
The 2-0 to Bastian is in there for strike 2. The count moves to 2-2 again. Sorry, 2-1 on Bastian. Only 1 out on the board for the Big Train, who have a runner on first. Another pickoff attempt at first, again unsuccessful. Skoronsky gaining a lot of attention from both the pitcher and the catcher. The 2-1 swung on and missed for strike 2. That moves the count 2-2 on Bastion. Again, was struck out during his previous at-bat, but has had a walk and a base hit earlier this evening. The 2-2 upstairs for ball 3. A throw down to second as Skowronski goes.
Ooh.
Oh, and it is in time. Skowronski sped on over there, but was just a step too short. So that'll clear the bases for the big train. 2 outs on the board.
I haven't seen a Kentucky Wildcat command that much attention since John Wall in the half court.
A full count on Bastion with 2 outs on the board. No one on base. First, the full count is down low for ball number 4. Bastion walking on out to first for Andrew Williamson to step up to the plate. Williamson recorded a triple earlier this evening, has been walked during his other 3 at-bats. So the Aces get 1 off the base pads, but Bastion strikes back, walking out to first. We'll see if he garners just as much attention as Skowronski did, and it looks like he might. An unsuccessful pickoff attempt at first. First offering to Williamson. Check swing, did he go? Looks like he did not go, as decided by the umpire. So count moves 1-0 on Williamson. Another unsuccessful pickoff attempt at first. Bastion didn't even move from the first base.
I haven't seen a Dolphin command this much attention since Tyreek Hill. This is pretty incredible. I think we're up to 6 pickoff attempts this half inning.
The 1-0 outside for ball number 2.
But the attention definitely worthy, especially Bastion, who's been known to take an extra bag or 2 when he's on the base paths.
The 2-0 is in there for strike 1. And again, with such a dangerous bat at the plate, might be a smarter play to get him off the base pads to record the 3rd out. Another pickoff attempt at first, again unsuccessful.
Actually, I'd like to revise my statement. I have not seen a Dolphin command that much attention since Ace Ventura.
The 2-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. Williamson going around on the check swing to move the count 2-2. The 2-2 bouncing in the dirt for ball number 3. Bastion decides not to move from first.
That was a great block by DePaulo.
And Bastion reading that well, wouldn't have been able to make it over to second in time before the throw from DePaulo. The full count is swung on and missed for strike 3. Sorry, it's fouled off, so Williamson is gonna stay alive at the plate to face the full count once again. Bastion still holed up at first. The full count in the dirt for ball number 4. Williamson gonna take his 4th walk of the night, pushing Bastion over to second as your shortstop. Number 9, Keenan Bowman, steps up to the plate, hoping for some more of that excellent 2-out hitting we've been seeing throughout the evening to push the big train over the edge. Currently sitting tied at 11. First offering to Bowman is outside for ball 1. The 1-0 upstairs for ball 2.
That one was in the attic. That wasn't just the upstairs bedroom. That was the top level of the house right there.
Runners still on first and second with 2 outs.
There goes Bastion.
2-0. Throw down to third. Not in time for the speedy Bastion. So Bastion charging from second to successfully steal third, as Bowman now facing a hitter's count. Has runners on the corner. The go-ahead run now at third, thanks to Bastion's speedy legs.
That's his team leading 7th steal of the season.
As that one up high, looks like it might have knocked the catcher's helmet there.
I think that one actually might have hit Bowman's bat.
It looks like it might have caught his bat to move the count 2-2 on Bowman.
That was an unfortunate sequence of events for Bowman.
The 2-2
Great eye
is
there.
just a hair outside for ball 3. Like you said, great eye from Bowman to not swing at it. Count full on Bowman. Runners on the corners, the go ahead at third. Here comes the full count. It's in there for strike 3 and out number 3. So the Big Train held scoreless. We still have a tied ball game here at Frank Mann Field. Stay tuned on the Big Train Baseball Network as we take you into the bottom of the 7th inning.
No.
Say, hey, baby, I love the way you groove. Hey, baby, I love the way you move. Say, hey, baby, I love the way you boogie down. Hey, baby, I love the way you move. Boogie down. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. 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 Boogie, boogie, boogie down, baby. Can you boogie down?
He's in the bottom of the 7th. Designated hitter,
Welcome back
Riley.
to the Big Train Baseball Network. We're headed into the bottom of the 7th inning. We still have a tied ball game. Jake Titus on the mound as number 25, the designated hitter, Riley DeCandido, set to kick things off. He'll foul the first offering off over the Aces dugout for strike 1.
That Aces dugout's been under siege for a lot of the night. Foul balls flying in left and right.
As the 0-1's in the dirt for ball 1.
Now the Aces looking for their league-leading 13th win of the season. The Big Train looking to push themselves above 500. They currently sit at 9-9.
The 1-1 fouled off out of the park for strike 2. Big Train came oh so close to the go-ahead run. It was sitting on third, and Jaden Bastian, unfortunately, unable to capitalize it on that situation as the 1-2 fouled off. We're left scoreless in the top of the 7th. Game still tied at 11. The 1-2 to DeCandido, swung on and missed, but fouled as it was in the dirt.
Oh, that's he's now fouled a couple of balls off of his leg. That cannot feel good. He'll walk a little gingerly around the box, but looks to be okay. Especially considering he's got no shin guards on.
A risky move there to avoid the...
Oh, I was going to say to foul the ball back into yourself. I'm not sure how much control you have over that.
I was going to say to opt to not wear the shin guards. The 1-2 is down low for ball 2.
I like that pitch a lot from Titus. That fastball slowly tailing downward, but DeCandido not taking the bait. The count now even at 2-2.
Here comes the 2-2. That one's outside for ball 3. Count moving full on DeCandido.
And waiting on deck is the first baseman, Kevin Milewski.
Here comes the 3-2. That one swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 1 for the Aces. The first time tonight DeCandido has been left swinging at the plate.
First baseman.
That was a great pitch from Titus, getting DeCandido sort of out in front of that one. His timing had been pretty good the entire at-bat, but not on the pitch where he needed it to be the most.
Now Milewski at the plate recorded a home run earlier this evening. First offering is upstairs for ball 1. The 1-0 is in there for strike 1.
That's a great fastball from Jake Titus. We've got a little velocity battle here tonight between the Aces and Big Train bullpen. Titus has been firing back so far.
The 1-1 fouled off into the home plate umpire for strike 2.
Speak of being under siege, that's now a couple of shots the home plate umpire's taken, but luckily he's got some padding. He's A-okay as the count moves to 1-2 on Milewski.
Here comes the 1-2. That one. Check swing, did he go? Third base umpire rules he did not go, so that'll be recorded as a ball. Count moving 2-2 on Milewski. Again, Aces already 1 out on the board, looking to push themselves over the edge. And the 2-2 nailed out towards right center field. It'll drop for a base hit. So Milewski moves himself over to first to bring up number 11, Ben Harity. Again, Jake Titus on the mound for the Big Train.
Now, we haven't seen either team make even marginally good contact with pitches upstairs, especially fastballs. But Milewski able to get a hold of that one and now represents the go-ahead run at first.
Ben Harity walking up to Thunder by AC/DC. The first offering to Harity upstairs for ball 1. Thunder by AC/DC was the song of the Chantilly High School football team when I attended there.
Definitely a classic in the sports world.
As the 1-0 is in the dirt for ball 2. Just like I jumped to Thunder by AC/DC in high school, I now jump to Enter Sandman at Virginia Tech. The 2-0 is outside for ball 3.
Those are two pretty good songs to rock to throughout your high school and college career. My high school didn't really have a song. The band would simply play as the football team exited the field, or entered it as well.
The 3-0 is in there for strike 1, so Titus fighting back on the hitters count.
No, Walt Whitman High School football definitely a lot better than it was when I was there. My senior year, 2021, the Vikings' lowest margin of defeat was 28 points.
As the 3-1 swung on and missed for strike 2, count moves full on Ben Harity. He has one Aces runner on first, representing the go-ahead run. The full count. That one's popped up high, down right field. Did it stay fair? Looks like it was caught for the out. Out number 2 for the Aces. That'll bring up Sam Robertson. Again, one runner on first for the Aces, representing the go-ahead run.
Sam Robertson.
2 outs now on the board.
Another heck of a catch by Skoronsky, this time in foul territory.
The first offering to Robertson, he shows bunt, but it escapes him for strike 1.
Definitely not a common situation to see a batter laying down a bunt. Just one runner on at first with 2 outs. But Robertson, a speedster who was mostly used as a pinch hitter for Auburn last season, perhaps trying to manufacture that.
So the 0-1 is in the dirt for ball 1.
But it looks like Robertson will swing away for the rest of the at-bat. We've seen a handful of times batters show bunt on the first pitch and then retract after that.
So the count 1-1 on Robertson. Maluski still over at first, representing the go-ahead run. Aces with 2 outs on the board. The 1-1 outside for ball 2. Again, excellent catch from Josh Skoronsky to record out number 2 in Ben Harity. The 2-1 in there for strike 2. So Titus, 1 strike away from keeping this a tie ball game and give the Big Train a fighting chance at the plate. Here comes the 2-2. Down low for ball 3. Count moves full on Robertson.
Waiting on deck is Aces catcher A.J. DePaulo, who's had a little revival at the plate tonight.
Had a walk during his previous at bat. The full count popped up high, down left center field. Under it is left fielder Jaden Bastian with the catch and out number 3. So we're still tied at 11. The Aces held scoreless for the first time this evening. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Big Train Baseball Network.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. 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 Boogie down, fix up. Boogie down, fix up. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you groove. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you move.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network as we head into the top of the 8th inning. Big Train held them scoreless in the bottom of the 7th to keep this a tied ball game. Up at the plate is Josh Skoronsky. Man of the hour made a catch in foul territory, right field. Sorry, it's going to be Luke Vaughn at the plate, catcher, making his first appearance with the Big Train tonight. Has had quite a few walks tonight as the 0-1 drops for a base hit. Second baseman makes a throw over to first in time for out number 1.
First baseman, Emilio.
So that'll bring up your
Gonzalez.
first baseman, number 45, Emilio Gonzalez. 1 out on the board now for the Big Train. Again, score is tied at 11. Aces out hitting the Big Train 16-5.
And a couple of those belonging to Gonzalez, who has 6 RBIs tonight.
He'll ground that one over to the second baseman. Makes a throw over to first for out number 2. So a quick 1-2 from the new pitcher on the mound for the Aces, number 31, Paul Whitcop.
Third baseman, Landon Franklin.
A native of McLean, Virginia, playing his college ball at Richmond. Played his high school ball at the Potomac School. Will have to get through Landon Franklin if he wants to make it a 1-2-3 inning.
First offering to Franklin is in there for strike 1.
Now Whitcop primarily works with a fastball and a slider. Not as much velocity as his bullpen counterparts.
As the 0-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2.
But he's been getting the job done so far.
Here comes the 0-2. That one bouncing in the dirt for ball 1. So the count moving 1-2 on Franklin. 2 outs on the board for the Big Train. No one on base. The 1-2 is outside for ball 2. Again, the Big Train was held scoreless, as were the Aces during the 7th inning. Big Train hoping to strike back to take the lead. The 2-2 is in there for strike 3 and out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 from new pitcher Paul Whitcop. That'll wrap up the top of the 8th inning. Stay tuned as we head into the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Big Train Baseball Network.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up. 'Cause nothing feels as good as summer love.
And we're back here on the Big Train Baseball Network at Frank Mann Field as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning. You've got a new pitcher on the mound for your Big Train. It's number 43, Mad Max Martzoff.
Are people calling him that nowadays?
I call him Mad Max. I think he qualifies as a Mad Max. Been one of the most trusted closing pitchers from manager Sal Colangelo.
Looking to go on another Fury road tonight.
As AJ DePaulo check swing, did he go? Ruled he did not, so that'll be ball one for DePaulo. Count moving 1-0. He's had a heck of a night from the plate, recorded a triple and a double. Last at bat was a walk. Here comes the 1-0. And that one's in there for strike one.
Now Martzoff, as you said, not only arguably the most reliable relief pitcher for the Big Train, especially in crunch time, he is the guy that Colangelo and co have turned to. As we're going to get a quick time here. Wow, heck of a warm-up swing from DePaulo.
So we'll resume play here. DePaulo, the 1-1 count is in there for strike two. We had Max Martzoff in the booth with us last game over at Shirley Povich Field. Stayed with us through the entire fourth inning. Again, sharing some wise words. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike three. And out number one, Mad Max striking yet again. That'll bring up the top of the order. Number 13, Tim Nicholson, has had a pair of doubles here tonight.
Now we've got a clash of titans here between Bethesda's best relief pitcher and Alexandria's best hitter.
First offering to Nicholson, he'll show bunt.
Ooh.
Doesn't retract in time, as that'll be strike one.
Now
for
that
Nicholson.
was a big pitch right there. Let's see if Nicholson shows bunt on the 0-1 count. Definitely speedy enough to make it over to first.
The 0-1 is down low, just a hair.
That was
for ball one.
another really good frame by Vaughn, but not in the strike zone enough. It looks like Nicholson's gonna swing away the rest of the at-bat.
Here comes the 1-1. That one popped high and fouled over the bleachers for strike two. That one hopefully landing just inside the ballpark and not in the parking lot.
Now, I'm not sure if that happened, Phoebe.
Getting a little anxious about the state of my windshield. So the count 1-2 on Nicholson. Mad Max throws it in there for strike three, and that's out number two. A quick 1-2 from Max Martzoff on the mound, showing off why he has become the reliable closing pitcher for the Big Train. That'll send up Peltier to the plate. Has had 3 base hits tonight, along with a walk. So that was the first time Nicholson's been struck out at the plate here tonight. First offering to Peltier in there for strike one.
Boy, this owl's been hooting.
Again, game is still tied at 11. Big Train was held scoreless in the top of the 8th. Here comes the 0-1, and that one's down low for ball one. During the bottom of the 7th, Big Train pitching and fielding squad held them scoreless for the first time this evening. Looking to do the same here as the 1-1 is down low for ball two. Here comes the 2-1. That one's down low for ball three again. Vaughn showing good frame.
Martzoff really working the low part of the zone. Let's see if he takes it upstairs here on the 3-1 count.
3-1 is in there for strike two. So the count moves full on Peltier. Mad Max, 1 strike away from holding the Aces scoreless for the 2nd consecutive half inning. Here comes the full count, and just a hair outside for ball 4. So Peltier gonna take his base over at first. That'll bring up Jenkins to the plate. Was struck out during his last 2 at-bats. Max hoping to continue that pattern here, strike him out for the 3rd time tonight.
Martzoff's been working the borderline like Tame Impala. Might have to here against Jenkins.
First offering to Jenkins is low outside for ball 1. Sorry, that would actually be, Jenkins has already been struck out 3 times tonight, but should Max strike him out here at the plate, that would be the 3rd consecutive. As the 1-0 low and outside for ball 2.
Very apparent he's not going to go for anything way out of the zone. Again, just doesn't have the body type to be able to reach low. There goes the runner.
2-0 runner goes to second. Throw down to second is not in time. So the go-ahead run now safely aboard second base. Count moves to 2-1 on Jenkins. Here comes the 2-1. That one fouled off for strike 2. Count moving 2-2 on Jenkins again. Was struck out during his previous 2 at-bats. Aces with the go-ahead run at second base. Here comes the 2-2. That one's low outside for ball number 3. Count moving full on Jenkins.
And waiting on deck is Jamie Quinn Irons.
Again, Martzoff finding himself 1 strike away. 3-2 is outside for ball 4. That'll walk Jenkins out to first. So Aces find themselves with runners on first and second for Jamie Quinn Irons to take to the plate.
Now as he walks up to Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Martzoff looking to stop this inning, keeping it at 11-11.
First offering to Irons in there for strike 1. The 0-1. In there for strike 2. So Martzoff finding himself in the position yet again, 1 strike away.
That was a rhythm pitch right there from Martzoff.
Runner goes to third. 0-2, fouled off out of the park. So the runner, Peltier, gonna have to jog on back over to second. Aces still have a runner on first and second. Quinn Irons facing the 0-2 count yet again. Here comes the 0-2. That one's a hair outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-2. That one fouled off again. So Quinn Irons gonna face the 1-2 count yet again. Aces, a runner on first and second, 2 outs on the board. Go ahead at second. The 1-2 is outside for ball 2. Can hear some words of encouragement from the Big Train dugout. Here comes the 2-2. That one's down low for ball 3.
That's a really good pitch. That is a really good pitch from Martzoff. I am impressed that Quinn Irons laid that one off. It looked like a fastball that dipped below the zone. Looked like a strike at the start.
Full count is nailed out towards left center field. It's over the fences.
Nope. Still in play.
Still in play. Bastian scooping it up, but Aces have brought in runs 12 and 13 off of the base pads. Quinn Irons with a double over on second. Again, 2 outs on the board. Aces have taken the lead. Martzoff looking to shut them down there as number 25, the designated hitter Riley DiCandido, steps up to the plate. So that records Quinn Irons' second double of the night
Now batting, Riley
and having an excellent night of hitting. First offering to D. Candido outside for ball one. The 1-0 is grounded over to second baseman. Runner makes it over to third.
That one actually deflecting off of the glove of Martzoff.
Getting lost in some of the dirt that was kicked up from the mound.
First baseman, Kevin.
So that'll put
Maluski.
runners on the corners for Maluski to step up to the plate. Aces have already taken the lead with a 2-spot. Looking to extend it even further as Big Train known for some late inning magic. First offering to Maluski, swing and a miss for strike one. The 0-1 down low, outside for ball one. The 1-1 in there for strike two. Count 1 and 2 on Maluski. Runners on the corner for the Aces. 2 outs on the board. Here comes the 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? Ruled that he didn't go around, so that'll be ball two, moving the count 2 and 2 on Maluski. Runners still on the corners for the Aces. Here comes the 2-2. That one nailed down right field. It'll go foul. So Maluski gonna stay at the plate to face the 2-2 count yet again. Night has fallen at Frank Mann Field as Big Train hoping to shut him out here. The 2-2 swung on and missed for strike three and out number 3. So the Aces come back with a 2-spot to take the lead 13-11. But Big Train pitching and fielding squad leave 2 on the base pads. Stay tuned as we head into the top of the 9th inning when the Big Train looks to attack from the plate. You're listening to the Big Train Baseball Network.
Move so fast. Here's hoping this night will last. Just let go. We're spinning with our eyes closed. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door. You'll be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up. 'Cause nothing feels as good as summer.
Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network, top of the 9th inning. Aces struck back with a 2-spot in the bottom of the 8th to reestablish their lead. 13-11. First up, Crosland takes the first offering inside for strike one.
It's going to be the bottom of the lineup due up for the Big Train. Crosland leading off now in an 0-1 hole, followed by Skoronsky and Westley.
The 0-1 in there for strike two. Here comes the 0-2. That one fouled off, out of play. So Crosland stays alive to face the 0-2 count yet again.
That was a productive check swing there. Crosland wanting to hold up at the last second.
The 0-2 popped up high, ranging down center field. Under it, Quinn Irons for the catch and out number 1. So that'll bring up Josh Skoronsky to the plate. Has been hit by pitch a couple of times tonight. Has also recorded a walk. Been a productive member of the scoring squad. Here comes the first offering to Skoronsky. And that one's in there for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Skoronsky, down low in the dirt for ball 1. Here comes the 1-1. That one popped up high, down right center field. Under it, Quinn Irons again for the glove catch and out number 2. So that'll bring up the bottom of the order, the designated hitter for your Bethesda Big Train, Matthew Wesley. We've seen some pretty great 2-out hitting throughout the evening. The Aces showing that off in the previous half inning to put up a 2-spot. Wesley hoping for a similar success as he takes the first offering for strike 1. The 0-1 chopped over to third baseman Wesley, charging over to first, the throw over to first, bouncing in the dirt, so it is in there in time. The third out of the evening. Big Train fall 13-11. Came oh so close. Quentin, what are your thoughts here?
Well, fantastic hitting from the Aces. They scored at least one in all but one half inning the entire game, and even one of the lone mantles of consistency in the Big Train bullpen, Max Martzoff, getting shelled for a 2 RBI hit that pushed the Aces ahead in the end by Jamie Quinn Irons. Another tough one for the Big Train, another high-scoring one. They've got to feel good about the offense. They looked A-OK for most of the game. It started with a 5-spot in the top of the third. Unfortunately, at some point, you can only score so many runs in a game, and the Big Train falling into that tonight. They'll have a couple of off days before getting back at it on Wednesday.
That's right, so a 5-spot in the top of the third propelled the Big Train to a lot of success from the plate tonight. Unfortunately, the last three innings, bats went a little cold. Aces fielding, fighting back to give them the victory. But again, Big Train should feel proud of their offensive play tonight. A 5-spot in the top of the third. Typically we see them fight back in the very end of the game, but started things off early to bring a competitive game at Frank Mann Field. Aces moving 3-0 in the series. Big Train fallen 9-10 in the record. For our producers, Jordan Parham and Lindsay Morin, for our executive producer who just recorded his 200th game with the Big Train Baseball Network, Harrison Myers. Been a great mentor and supporter of our Big Train Baseball Network squad. For my partner, Quentin Corpuel, I'm Phoebe Winters, and you have been listening to the Big Train Baseball Network.